Again, everybody, Chris Godfrey here. I'm all set to count down this week's 40 most played country songs in the USA, compiled by Mediabase 24/7 for the chart week of September 7th, 2024. Got one debut on the chart this week, but before we get started, let's take a look back at last week's top three. Number 3 was Chevrolet by Dustin Lynch and Jelly Roll. Number 2 was Bar Song Tipsy by Shaboozey. And the number 1 song last week was She's Somebody's Daughter, the first number 1 hit for Drew Baldridge. Now, can Drew hang on to that number 1 spot again this week? We'll find out soon. First, we get started with the Zac Brown Band slipping a spot to number 40, called Tie Up. At number 39, down a spot, here's newcomer Kelsey Hart, his first chart single, Life With You. And here's her only debut this week, rolling in at number 38. It's a newcomer from Alabama named Ella Langley. She's joined by a fellow Alabama artist, Riley Green. Her new song is called You Look Like You Love Me. And with that one debut, we say goodbye to one dropper falling out this week, Bulletproof by Nate Smith. On with the countdown for a second week at number 37. This is Tiger Lily Gold with I Try to Ring On. Slipping a spot to number 36, Miranda Lambert with Wranglers. Easing up one to number 35 is John Morgan and Jason Aldean with Friends Like That. Here's one of two songs tied for this week's fastest climbing hit, up 6 spots to number 34. It's Cole Wetzel and Jesse Murph with High Road. Inching up 1 to number 33, it's Dylan Scott, and This Town's Been Too Good to Us. Holding steady at number 32, here's Chris Janson, What You See Is What You Get. Up 2 spots to number 31 is Chris Lane with Find Another Bar. In his 19th week in the countdown, he slips a spot to number 30, Matt Stale with Break It in Boots. Heading the spot the other way up to number 29, here's Dylan Marlowe and Dylan Scott with Boys Back Home. Leaping 3 spots to number 28 is Tucker Wetmore with Wind Up Missing You. At number 27 again this week, it's Dierks Bentley with American Girl. Up 2 spots to number 26, it's Chris Stapleton with Think I'm in Love with You. Easing up 1 to number 25 in his 20th week on the chart, George Burns and Cowboy Songs. Up 1 to number 24, Riley Green with Damn Good Day to Leave. At number 23 again this week, Dan and Shay with Bigger Houses. Up 2 spots to number 22, Zach Top and Sounds Like the Radio. For the 8th week in a row at number 21, it's Thomas Rhett with Beautiful As You. Up 2 spots to number 20 in its 7th week on the chart, it's Morgan Wallen with Lies, Lies, Lies. Inching up 1 to number 19, Keith Urban with Messed Up As Me. Holding steady at number 18 this week, Parmalee with Gonna Love You. Down from number 13 to number 17 this week, here's Lainey Wilson with Hang Tight, Honey. Slipping back 1 from 15 to number 16, Tim McGraw with One Bad Habit. Trading places with Tim, moving up 1 to number 15, it's Jelly Roll with I Am Not Okay. Leaping 3 spots to number 14, here's Kane Brown and Marshmello with Miles on It. Easing up 1 to number 13 is Dasha with Austin. Slipping a spot to number 12 in his 30th week on the chart, Justin Moore with This Is My Dirt. In just their 8th week on the chart, they move up 1 to number 11, Post Malone and Blake Shelton, called Pour Me a Drink. Alright, kicking off the top 10 for the 5th week in a row, it's Chase Matthew at number 10 with Love You Again. Down a notch to number 9, former number 1 hit, Morgan Wallen, joined by Ernest, called Cowgirls. Moving up 1 to number 8, here's Luke Bryan with Love You, Miss You, Mean It. Here's last week's number 1, down to number 7 this week, Drew Baldridge and She's Somebody's Daughter. Here's another former number 1 hit, down a spot to number 6, Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, called I Had Some Help. Inching up 1 to number 5 this week, Chris Young and Young Love and Saturday Nights. Down from number 2 to number 4, the former number 1 hit, it's Shaboozey with the bar song Tipsy. Inching up 1 to number 3 this week, 15th week in the countdown, it's Luke Combs with Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. And the number 2 song this week, climbing a notch, Dustin Lynch and Jelly Roll, called Chevrolet. And the number 1 song in country music this week, taking 23 weeks to get here, and this becomes the number 1 hit, up 6 spots from number 7 to number 1. It's Cody Johnson with Dirt Cheap. It's his 3rd number 1 hit. That is our countdown to this week's 40 most played country hits. Join me again next week. We'll count them down once again and find out who's got the number 1 song in country music.